about 4 here in London. It's 9 minutes past 5 in the Swiss resort of Davos, where we're headed now for the World Economic Forum taking place there. And one of the major themes being discussed by business leaders and politicians is risk to the global economy. Among one of the causes, climate change. Well, let's get over there live. Francine Lacroix is talking, I believe, to James Cameron.
We are indeed, Rish, and we're also waiting for that speech by Angela Merkel, who has the EU rotating presidency. She opens the opening session today in Davos in about an hour, and she is also expected to talk a lot about climate change and the risks that it poses to the global economy in general. Now, it's snowing, it's cold. It wasn't that cold yesterday, James Cameron from Climate Change Capital, so we could just remind our viewers that actually it's one of the warmest years in terms of winters on record.
Yes.
Although we can't see it in Davos, and now we have had a little bit of snow across Europe, but it seems that a lot of guests here in Davos are thinking a lot more about climate change, about the impact on the global economy, a lot more than we did a year ago. What's changed?
This is how change of consciousness happens, little by little, and then something that seemed far away from the center of power becomes obviously a concern for those who possess power in either the public or private sector who are here. So this has been going for many, many years. I mean, I've been following climate change as a lawyer and now as an investor for 20 years, and it has ebbed and flowed. Now I think we've really got the attention of the actors who are here.
Now, how can Europe actually convince countries such as the US, China and India to get involved in emission caps?
Well, in a sense, the process is well underway. China, under the Kyoto Protocol, is a party but doesn't have caps on its emissions. But it makes opportunity available for us to invest there to reduce emissions now through the development mechanism of the Kyoto Protocol. That's real. That means we can take capital raised in London, apply it in China and cause reductions. Now, that's a contribution that they are making. Eventually, when we've done a lot of that and when they've seen that we're serious about pricing carbon, they will join the system and they will accept obligations. Who knows exactly what form they'll take, but they'll accept obligations eventually. In the meantime, we do have to get action in the States, and the signs are it's coming.
And
it's looking good.
The EU is saying that the US should cap emissions by 2013 and give India and China more time to 2020. Is the US receiving that message?
There's no doubt that we are under an obligation, those who caused the problem in the West, in the developed West, to take action first. No question about that. And the US has been behind Europe and the rest of the world in dealing with this problem because of its leadership. But that is changing fast. I believe the US may even come up on the outside and go past Europe on the way in which they deal with climate change. We've got to see them join the international system, and the best way to do that is to put a price on carbon, to make it valuable to reduce emissions, and to do it in a sufficiently similar way to connect with what we've done already in Europe and through the Kyoto Protocol.
It seems almost ironic that the year or in the months where everybody is talking about the dangers of it, we do see an actual change in the weather. Is it too late to prevent chaotic weather changes?
That's a very good use of phrase. It's chaos that we're concerned with, not gentle warming. You know, there's a difficulty with the phraseology in climate change. If you show pictures of a warmer world on a particular day, why would that be unappealing? But chaos is not appealing for an economy or for a human being that's got to adjust. And what we're seeing with gradual increase in the energy in our weather systems is more chaotic patterns. And it's the trends that we're watching at the moment that cause concern to the economy. Where are our assets most vulnerable? In coastal zones, in arid areas, where we use large quantities of water. And where are our investments heading in the wrong direction, causing more emissions which accelerate the problem? These are the sorts of questions we've got to ask ourselves now and redirect capital flows into the solutions. And I see signs that that is happening.
In terms of U.S. emission caps, will we see an acceleration with the new president possibly? Are we going to see maybe emission caps by 2009?
Very interesting debate going on. Is it more likely that we would have caps established under this presidency because a certain U.S. business constituency might feel that they will be less severe than in the next presidency? Or will the political game be played out right to the edge and people will wait to whoever takes office after President Bush, whatever party they represent, in the hope that they will be tougher standards and more aggressive reduction targets? That seems to be the political game at the moment. What I am convinced of is that within the next 2 to 4 years, you will see a cap on emissions in the States, you will see a price for carbon, and you will see some combination of regulatory and fiscal instrument to create a value for reducing emissions across North America.
All right, thank you very much, James Cameron. Rish, that's it for us, but of course we will be following that speech by Angela Merkel in just over an hour.
Thanks, Francine. Francine there in Davos. We're going to get more insight now. We're going to head over to Edinburgh.